Hey, welcome to Act Now or Dream On. When you receive an unexpected amount of money, let's call it $2, $5, $10,000 or even more, what is the first thing that comes into your mind? Do you want to spend it? Do you want to save it? Or you want to do both, but you do not know how and what you should do with it? Let me think like someone in the rat race. I want to have some fun. What about changing my 12 years old Mitsubishi Outlander for, let's call it a BMW X3 at $52,000? No, I have a better idea. I will go on vacation with my wife in Aruba. No, even better. I will impress my friends by installing an in-ground pool and change all the furniture in my house. Yeah, I deserve it, right? I have worked so hard for so many years, it's crazy. Now it is time to please myself and to impress my friend. Wrong. This is the worst thing you can do when you are trapped in the rat race. In my previous video, we discovered that instant gratification is one of the issues of people in the rat race. I will put the link here above to this previous video, so if you need to revise it. Please watch until the end of this video to receive the bonus material. And remember, if you like this video, hit that like button, add a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. The video today is about fake asset. According to Robert Kiyosaki, we people in the rat race simply have no financial intelligence, and we do things that keep us in trouble, keep us in this rat race. We are basically unable to make the difference between an asset and the liabilities. We believe that a car or a home or anything else that we own are asset. Even when we go to borrow money, the banker, credit card company are asking us if we have any type of those assets under our name, pretending that they are assets. Sadly, those things are what Robert called fake asset. In this video, we will understand why they are fake asset. We are trapped in the rat race and are unable to get out of it because we spend our income on those fake assets. When we receive a salary raise or unexpected money, we want to spend it immediately and buy something cool. What about a bigger house, bigger condo, bigger car, expensive watches, recognized brands like Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or anything else you may think of? The problem with those things is they are keeping us poor. Remember the sentence I used in the previous video? The poor are staying poor by acting rich, while the rich are staying rich by acting poor. If you like this video, please hit that like button, add a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. What is a fake asset? First, let us realize there is nothing wrong to buy something you need. And when you buy it, you should, and I would suggest, you should buy quality, and yes, quality is expensive. But don't overdo it just to impress your friends. This is the wrong thing to do. But before you buy something that seems to be needed today, ask yourself if it will bring you closer to your financial goal. And if the answer is no, maybe you should wait and use the money you have today for something more important. This doesn't mean that you will never buy it. It just means that you're focusing on your goal to become financially free. Therefore, except for day-to-day expenses that you absolutely need to survive, like food, shelter, and other, you must focus on real asset only. So here are the questions that were dying to get answered for the last few videos. What are assets and what are liabilities? If you do not know the difference about this, you may be in trouble. For the last few videos, I mentioned many times the words assets and liabilities. What is it? Really? Unless we understand we're in trouble. So an asset is something that's once you buy it, it put money in your pocket. Because you have it, you are getting richer over time. This is really important to understand. Because you have it, you are getting richer over time. What is a liability? Something that once you buy it, it takes money out of your pocket. You may not get poorer today with it, but you're certainly not getting closer to your financial freedom. It will not help you to achieve your goal. It is right, there's some liabilities that you must have to live your life, but you must be careful when you spend for it. Let's look at some of those. You need a shelter, you need a home, a condo, an apartment. You must have a way to transport yourself, like a car, public transit, bicycle, motorcycle, unless you walk all the time. You must have clothes also, etc. There's no way to work around them, but you must reduce their costs as much as possible while you are in the rat race. But remember, you do not need the bigger house, the nicest car in the neighborhood. You need a shelter, you need a car, so no, you do not need them. Actually, not as long as you are trapped in the rat race. Not as long as the asset you have are able to pay for them 100%. Yes, you heard me. If you focus on buying asset, one day those assets would pay for everything you have. There is nothing wrong to live in the biggest house on the street, or in a castle for the matter of the fact, or to run a Lamborghini, as long as you're not paying for them out of your pocket. So now, what are fake assets? Fake asset is something that most people believe make them richer, but in reality, they are taking money out of their pocket. To discover if it is a real asset or fake asset, you really need to look at the cash flow. I will talk about cash flow in a different video. But example of those fake assets, your personal residence, your personal car, and many other things, but for now we will stick only to the car and your personal residence. Keep in mind that only real asset will bring you closer to your financial freedom. Again, how to distinguish the real asset from this fake asset? A liability or fake asset takes money out of your pocket. An asset put money in your pocket. If you like this video, please hit the like button, make a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell. To understand if your primary residence is an asset or a fake asset, meaning a liability, we need to do some mathematics here. Note, I will walk you through fake asset mathematics in the next video called Rat Race Part 4, Fake Assets Are Revealed. First, we must know how much your mortgage on the house will really cost you at the end. To calculate this, you can use a free mortgage calculator website. While you're at it, look and understand the amortization table. You will be shocked how much interest you're paying at the beginning. I will put the link for this in the description below. Here are some important assumptions for the example below. You buy an average house in Charlotte, North Carolina, United States at $228,800 with a 30-year mortgage at 5% of interest. Over 30 years, it will cost you $439,592, which is capital plus interest. Your monthly mortgage will be $1,221.08. We will also assume that the dollar buying power will remain constant during those 30 years to keep the example simple We are basically forgetting the inflation here. The real estate agent commission to sell this house in 30 years would be 5% or $21,979. To get your total investment back, you need to sell the house at a minimum of $461,571. You will also have to pay around 20% tax on the capital gain. Based on those assumptions, your house must increase in value by $232,771 over the next 30 years. Otherwise, you're basically losing money, which means that your house must double in price. Do you get this? Okay, assuming that you sell the house for the asking price of $694,342 for a capital gain of $232,771. Now you need to pay 20% of capital gain on this, so you will really pocket only $189,216. And remember, the house is an asset if and only if, when you sell it after all expenses, you put money in your pocket. Now that we know those numbers, let's compare with another investment. Let's compare it to a S&P 500 investment over the next 35 years. The S&P 500 has an average return of 9.8% annualized before inflation for the last 90 years. This assumption is okay because we have removed the inflation from the calculation with the house. Now, how much can we invest in this S&P 500? Well, we still need to live somewhere, right? We do not want to buy a house in this case, but we're going to rent an apartment. So in Charlotte, North Carolina, USA, the average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment is $907 per month as of May 2019. We're not calculating any of the utilities here, as we have not done this anyway with the house. If you take the difference between the mortgage and the rent and invest it on a monthly basis in the S&P 500, you will invest $314.08 per month. This means that over 30 years, your investment will cost you a total of $113.68.80. Now let's use a compound investment calculator to know how much this investment will return in 30 years. I will put a link in the description to help you with this calculation. After 30 years, you will have accumulated in the S&P 500 with $314 per month, $623,170.71. Return on investment is $510,130.71. On this, you need to pay the same 20% in capital gain. So you will pocket $408,104 without any extra effort on your part except investing those $314 per month. If you like this video, please hit that like button, write a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now you will tell me that the primary house is an asset as it generated $189,216 at the end of 30 years, which is, of course, is not as much as the S&P 500, but it is a lot of money. It looks like to be a good investment, but not that fast. It is true the house generated money at the end, but your primary residence need extra expenses out of pocket that an apartment does not need. And this is the reason why a primary residence is not an asset but a liabilities. Let's look at obvious expenses that come with a residence. Property taxes. In Charlotte, for example, 96.5 cents every $100 in property taxes. Let's assume the taxes are not changing over the next 30 years. Let's assume the assessment value will stay on the original price instead of going up every year over the 30 years. We know that this is not true, but this will help us to keep the mathematics simple. So the property taxes will be a minimum of $66,237. What about repair and renovation. Let's follow the rule of thumb of 1% of the buying price. So you will pay over 30 years $68,640. Because you own the house, you simply have no choice. You must maintain it. Remember that to sell the house, you will also need to spend money just before the sale to get the house ready. This will cost money, right? But for the purpose of the exercise here, we will keep that cost at $0. And what about maintaining the grass, maybe removing snow, changing the rooftop every 15 years, changing windows every 25 years, termite damage, any other renovation or repair that you have to do, flooding and things like that. There are so many other expenses in a house, but I believe I made my point here. Here you have an extra cost of $134,877 in expenses out of pocket on the house over the next 30 years. When you rent, you do not have those expenses as they are included in the rent already. Your real profit on the house, considering the taxes and other things that I just mentioned above, is really $54,329. Now you will tell me, Serge, your apartment rent will also go up with inflation over years. But remember, we calculated the property taxes on the original buying price instead of the assessment price, which go up every year. So I believe that we are covered here, as the real property taxes would increase also every year at a much greater rate than the rent. And here is the shocking truth why a primary residence is not an asset, or not what you believe it is. With the house over 30 years, you really pocketed only $54,329. And remember here, there's a lot of expenses that we have not put in this calculation. But with the S&P 500, you made a profit of $408,104. So the S&P 500 gives you 7.5 times the return over your house. So do you understand now why a primary residence is a fake asset, or at least not an asset that will generate as much money as you think? And this is where the problem lies. The primary residence does not generate the income that you're expecting. Okay, this was a lot of mathematics, a lot of numbers, and I know that the way I pronounce those numbers may be wrong. So I understand that you may be confused. In the description below, I added a link to an Excel file with all those numbers so that you can walk through the Excel file while you're watching the video again. Please remember, if you like this video, hit that like button, add a comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell button so you will be notified. So now here's the sad thing with your house. If you lose your job, how long do you think you will be able to make mortgage payment on this? How long do you think the bank will let you go without paying mortgage? Usually after 3 months, the bank start sending you letters, and after a while, they will foreclose on you. So all the money you had invested in the house will be lost. This is why a primary house is not an asset. Think about the main goal. The goal is to have enough wealth to stop working and never worry about money anymore. How can we achieve that? From the paycheck you receive from your regular job, instead of acquiring liability and fake asset, you must acquire real asset. We know now that unless you sell your primary house at a much higher price at the end of those 30 years, including mortgage, all expenses, taxes, real estate, your property is not an asset but a liability, because at the end you are losing money. Of course, you did enjoy the fact that you lived in the house, the fact that you maintained it and everything, that your kids were playing. But this is intangible asset. This does not bring money in your pocket. So only by investing in the following assets, you will generate money. Businesses, stock, bonds, mutual fund, home generating, real estate, IOU note, royalty on business and products. Example, do you watch the show Shark Tank? You know Kevin O'Leary? Kevin usually make deals to generate return on the long run. He's always asking for royalty. Now you understand what he is looking for. He is looking for assets that generate income over time. Of course, you need to invest. This will cost him money. But usually, he prefers to give a loan with a small interest rate return to buy product, and he's always getting royalty deals. This is why he's doing this. Remember that each dollar coming from regular income must become your employee and generate more money over time. If you like this video, please hit that like button, create a comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. Now I understand that the concept of fake asset or liabilities may be complicated, so I will walk you through this in more detail in the next video, Rat Race Part 4, Fake Asset or Revealed. Again, thank you so much for watching and following me. Thank you and see you the next time. Bye.